สวัสดีค่ะ Very good evening and welcome to Thai PBS World Tonight. You are now with me, Natha Gomonwadin, live from Thai PBS studio in Bangkok. And Kuntep Chayong is joining me online from home.
Good evening, Kunatha, and good evening, everyone.
Shall we say that it's a happy day for Thailand, Kuntep Chai, because of the confirmed new cases? Today is the lowest since March the 15th, and the figure today is 15, the case of new infection.
Absolutely. I think we can call today another day of good news because we continue to see back-to-back days of a decline in the number of new infections. As Kunatha just mentioned, only 15 cases were reported today, the lowest in weeks. And what is equally encouraging is that the number of COVID-19 patients who have recovered has also been increasing steadily. So on two fronts, the number of new cases has been declining and the number of people who recover from the virus is increasing. So we have good news on both fronts, Kunatha.
Yes, and Dr. Tawisin Wisanuyotin, during his press briefing today, he mentioned that Thai people should be proud of what the effort we have done together, especially in the past month, to fight this COVID-19 altogether. But again, he told us that the guard still has to remain very high. Kuntep Chai.
Yeah, we could say that we might have seen the worst of the pandemic, but it is certainly too premature to say that we are winning the battle against the virus. And as a spokesman of the CCSA, the Center Fighting the Virus, Dr. Tawisin said, we are not yet out of the woods. That means that we still have a lot of work to do, especially in complying with the strict social distancing measures. And as Kunatha just mentioned, that despite some good news, it's unfortunate that there was one more fatality today. A 58-year-old woman, a housewife who had underlying conditions and who had been in contact with her daughter who was earlier infected. So our condolences to her family.
That's right. That's another loss of life in Thailand. And responding to the questions that tend to come up every day, whether the lowest or lower cases in Thailand, is that because we didn't do much testing. So today, Dr. Tawisin has specified and explained in more detail for all of us to detect the symptom, in which if we find that our body temperature is more than 37.5 Celsius degree, and then if we have symptoms like coughing, dry throat, and have some fever, just any symptom coming up, just go to see the doctor to have yourself tested. That would be the safest way to detect yourself and to observe your symptom, whether you are infected because of COVID-19. So that's what he tried to explain more for all of us to observe our body quite closely, Kuntep Chai.
It's a question that Dr. Tawisin makes it a point to address every day. The question of the testing, of course, because there are critics out there who question whether or not testing that we have been doing is comprehensive enough or effective enough. Because there are people, some of them anyway, still have questioned about the reliability or credibility of the figures released by the Public Health Ministry as far as the number of new infections are concerned. So today again, Dr. Tawisin went at length to explain that the testing that the Public Health Ministry has been conducting has always been professionally done and is comprehensive enough to give us a good picture of what the situation is like. He said even now, the testing still continues, and the good news is that we are able to develop locally test kits and can now be developed locally. And these kits have been distributed to over 100 medical facilities throughout the country, to which anyone can visit and ask for medical checkup if they have the symptoms that they believe that show that they could be infected. They may have some symptoms that could make them have questions about whether or not they're physically okay and they need some medical checkup. So they can go to any of these medical facilities for a checkup for free. I mean, that's very important. That is unlike in many other countries where this kind of checkup requires, I mean, the payment. But here in Thailand, Dr. Thevisin insisted that everything will be done free on the basis that you are having your medical checkup on the basis of fears of being infected with the coronavirus.
And also, he also mentioned analytical studies of 542 confirmed cases show that it takes between 4 and 28 days for symptoms to develop. That's why this point we all have to be careful as well, because he has noted that there is a high risk of asymptomatic people passing the infection on to many others. It means that some of us perhaps have got symptoms of COVID-19, but it didn't show because it will take 4 to 28 days. And during this period can be quite risky period. And we may have spread the infection to others without knowing it. That's why we have to take good care of ourselves, keep social distancing, wash our hands, and stay away from the person next to us for 1 or 2 meters. That's the same precautions that we have been told time and again, Khun Thepchai.
Yeah, these are so-called common sense measures that we need to take seriously. I mean, washing your hand as frequently as you can, and keeping distance from other people, even people within your own family, especially if they are elderly people. But Kunatha, one another question that Dr. Thevisin also has to address every day is about whether or not or when all these stringent measures that have been imposed over the past 1 month or so will be eased or relaxed. And as we all know that the fewer the number of new infections, the bigger the call for these measures to be relaxed. And today, some of the opposition MPs have added their voice to the growing calls for the government to consider easing or lifting some of the measures, because they believe that these measures are hurting the economy and hurting the people, hurting their livelihood. Of course, we know that a lot of people have been rendered jobless or unemployed because of these measures. Restaurants have been closed, I mean, entertaining venues have been shuttered, and life is not normal anymore. So hundreds of thousands of people certainly are out of job. And these people are putting pressure on the politicians, I mean, to put pressure on the government to consider lifting or easing some of these measures as soon as possible. And of course, Dr. Thevisin did not rule out the possibility of these measures being relaxed. But again, he cautioned that any relaxing of these measures need to be done in phases. That means step by step basis. And he doesn't agree with the idea that all these measures should be lifted all at once, because he is afraid that that would open the door to a resurgence, a possible resurgence of the virus.
Yes, and we have heard many proposals from different groups of business activity, business group association, and some group of research think tank in Thailand to have their own proposal in a way of how Thailand should try to reopen the whole economy. But it's quite a dilemma, Khun Thepchai, because it has to be balanced between trying to curb the spread of coronavirus and then try to revive the economy again. So it's the dilemma still. And then if we take a look around the whole country, especially in the region in Southeast Asia, the number of cases in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, and the Philippines are quite high, and it is calculated as one of the top in the world in terms of watching the whole region all together. So that's why the Thai authority and public health officials need to think quite considerably how to make a decision to take step by step to ease the restriction. Not an easy solution at all.
Yeah, Of course not. And the situations in our ASEAN neighboring countries, as Kunatha just mentioned, serve as a good reminder that if any premature decision is made in lifting or easing these measures, and instead of reopening the economy, we would end up inviting the virus to come back, and this time in a second wave, which could threaten to be even more destructive than the first one. But of course, sooner or later, and we hope that it will be sooner, the government will need to make a decision. And it's most likely that in its meeting next week, the cabinet will decide on this very crucial issue. And according to Dr. Thevisin today, I think we can guess that the government will somehow agree to some kind of some levels or some degrees of relaxation of these measures. And as Dr. Thevisin pointed out, it is most likely that provinces that have made continuous progress in containing the virus will be most likely among the provinces that will see early but gradual reopening of businesses and social activities. So Bangkok probably not in that category. Bangkok and some other major provinces which still have high numbers of infection cases probably need to wait a little longer before they can expect to see these stringent measures relaxed.
Yes, Kuntepchai. And yesterday, we finally saw an open letter from Prime Minister to business community in Thailand, especially to the top richest business people in Thailand. And the open letter also sent to business association, many groups in Thailand as well. And we got some feedback from those people who got this open letter. And mostly they are quite welcome and feel honored that they have been addressed the open letter directly to them. And they have got some proposal. For example, Kun Halo Link from B Grim Group, he said he would like to offer the suggestion that the whole country should move forward in taking reform for short term and long term in order to solve the economic structure after the COVID-19 crisis. So that is one feedback from billionaire of Thailand, Kuntepchai.
Now, judging from the reaction from many of these businessmen that we have talked to, the move by the Prime Minister inviting the ideas and cooperation from the private sector is very much welcome. This is certainly in big contrast to the earlier cynical reactions from many people who misinterpreted the Prime Minister's open letter as an invitation for financial contribution or financial help. But the Prime Minister makes it very clear in his open letter that what he needs, what he wants is ideas from these proprietors, these leading minds, these leading thinkers and businessmen as to how they can cooperate in helping the government to overcome this very critical issue. And judging from their reactions today, including Kun Supachai Jiravanont, the chief executive of Jaran Pokapan Group, today he praised the Prime Minister's move as something very smart. And he compared each of the major businesses that the Prime Minister is addressing as similar to a ministry in the government. So that means that now the Prime Minister has another 20 ministries at least to help him with ideas and cooperation in fighting this virus. So overall, the reaction from businessmen who have received the letters from the Prime Minister have been very positive.
That's quite a remarkable move and quite remarkable gesture from Prime Minister, because he said he'd like to listen and seek cooperation from different groups of stakeholders in Thai society on top of business people. He also planned to meet with civil society, small and medium-sized business people, to try to listen. And he would like to hear their project, their proposal to revive their own business as well. And right now we are joining by another leader in business community, Mr. Stanley Kang, Chairman of Joint Foreign Chamber of Commerce in Thailand. Good evening, Kun Stanley.
Good evening.
Have you got the open letter from the Prime Minister?
Oh, I'm not yet. I'm not the billionaire to get the letter from our Prime Minister. Yes. Yes, but so far so good. Yes.
You are not a Thai billionaire, but a Taiwanese billionaire.
Thank you very much. It's a challenging period. It's a challenging period. I think our Prime Minister have to realize it's not just how we protect our health, and also the second stage will be really challenging on the reopening up of the society and economy. And then I think the first quarter will only be hitting by the tourism business. But coming on the second quarter and fourth quarter, I believe on the exporting business, manufacturing part, we really have a very strong impact right now.
But how do you see the Prime Minister's gesture in writing open letter to leading businessmen asking for ideas and cooperation? You think it's a smart move? It's a wise move on his part?
Yeah, I think it's a very wise move because right now, in fact, it's not just a national crisis. It's also the effect from the whole world, right? And then it's totally different from just 1970s, the Dong Yang Gong crisis. And then right now, personally, I believe will be very challenging for the next 18 months, right? There's a good point, there's a challenging point. And the good point is that we really have to using more new technology, right? Just like right now we are interviewing by long distance, the virtual way of technology. I believe that the digital life is coming to our life much faster, and not just in our life, and also our business transaction, everything. So I have to thank the government. They just changed the law to allow that we can have the virtual conference meeting for all the AGM. But of course, that we still have a lot of like electronic sign, and then the law allowed it, but people are still not used to it. So I believe in the next 18 months, there's a lot of changing in our life. We got to work together and then to let our people to use to and how to implement our life into the new style.
Stanley, and if you can proposal from Foreign Chamber of Commerce, what do you like to tell, or what's the outline you like to tell the Prime Minister?
I think to protect our health is very important. So in fact, that not just with the Foreign Chamber, we work very closely with the Thai private sector, Thai Chamber of Commerce and Board of Trade, to ensure that when there's a very less effect on our health. But at the same time, if we shut down too long, I believe that the economic situation will be very difficult to analyze how will that be effect. And I think you can see the figure right now from the European market and even from the United States, right? Currently, a lot of people, unemployment rate very high, and then the life have be very big impact. And then according to our study right now, and current situation that the government really have to come up with a real good policy how to help the economy, because I can foresee that very soon will be facing probably the figure will be around 7 million to 10 million people here, because one thing reality is that the global market, a lot of market have been open, haven't reopened again, right? And then the exporting and then the auto manufacturing will not get that much order in hand for the second and third quarter. And I'm really worried that will this sentimental just for this year or even will be impact longer. And you can see the oil price even go up to the negative level. So it's a lot of things happening today and very fast. So we got to take action much faster to keep a right policy to support the private sector to ensure that our economy don't fall into a challenging situation that we cannot put it back.
Stanley, as you just mentioned that there is a growing call for the government to consider easing the shutdown measures, right? And as you said, I mean, the longer the shutdown lasts, the more damage it will cause to the economy. But sooner or later, the government need to make a decision on how to handle these very challenging issues. So what would be your advice as a businessman?
I think right now we try to use the new technology and to start opening up the economic. But of course, we have to make sure that we have the capability and ability to management the issue of COVID-19. At the same time, and then we have to make sure that we do create a job, and then we do find out what will be the new normal. I think it's a new things, not just for the private sector, also for the government. Like a lot of things that I can see the changing that from now on will be more e-government function comes up, and then a lot of regulation that we do have to ask the government to support, right? Because in the past we are talking about Thailand 4.0, but a lot of our regulation reform, right? Public regulation reform are still just in the Thailand 1.0, 2.0. We still require a lot of paperwork, right? Especially at the current situation. Even though we start reopening, I believe everybody to protect their health, they still have to keep the social distance. We still don't think that people can gathering back to your life normally. So a lot of application on the government document. I hope that we can see more easier on the digitalization and on the e-government part to serve the people, not just the foreign community, also the Thai local society can be getting much convenient.
Stanley, over the weekend, there was a decree which approved electronic meetings. And do you think that will help for big corporation, or can it help boost economy in Thailand?
Yes, I have to thank the government. Really have the very fast response for this one, and I think because a lot of our top management of the investment people in Thailand, and they have been traveling back to their country, but suddenly the country, either their country or Thailand, with the shutdown, so they cannot return to the kingdom of Thailand on time. So if they can go through a lot of AGM or a lot of company meeting, can relaxen the regulation to go through the video conference, and then that will be much help. But I think that's a good starting point. There's still a lot of things that we're still hoping to see that in the next several period of months that we can make a lot of improvement on this.
And you mentioned,
so Stanley, judging from what you said, I mean, it looks like we are talking about a whole new world, and it looks like we cannot go back to business as usual any longer, right? So what kind of changes do you see in the immediate future? You talk about the need for the digitalization of the country to be accelerated. I mean, even Thailand 4.0 may not be enough. They have to be Thailand 5.0 now, right? So how do you see the immediate future of in the aftermath of the coronavirus pandemic?
Okay, basically coronavirus will take around, before the vaccine come out, maybe take 12 or 18 months. No one can tell us the answer yet, right? So in between this time, I don't think that any country will just open its country so easily, right? And we hope can be open, but maybe it takes time because the health are still very important, right? And so I give example. In the past, we do traveling very easy. We have a lot of airline, either the low-cost air to the normal airline. But I don't think in the future you will have a lot of people traveling around that often, right? And then how we recovery all this logistic airline, and not just carry the passenger, also get to see how they carry the goods. It's a lot of challenging are changing, right? An example that people don't used to have this kind of conference call. But today I have the President Council meeting of Joint Foreign Chamber of Commerce, and after that, many presidents feedback to me, Stanley, right now, since that it's very easy to use and very saving cost and saving time. So I think people, the way we handle the business, right, in the future, right, once you use it, you will say that's good. Example, on my age time, I had to pass to use the typewriter to the fax machine and to all the normal wireless phone to the smartphone, and then we use Line, we use Skype, and then what will be the next? Right now we are all using. So a lot of new way of communication is coming up. So the new way of communication will change our business behavior, our lifestyle. An example, can we open the school right now? A lot of people are worried. Right, the elder student are still okay. The younger student, is that good for them to long distance learning? And if not, right, if we open school, how we take care of the health. So a lot of things that we are all learning together. So I believe that the call of the Prime Minister is very smart, because the nation is falling into a challenging. It's not just for the government. It's also for the private sector, for the people. It's a time. Thailand got to unite it together again. And we got to find a solution for ourselves. And then, of course, this solution can something brainstorming by ourselves. At the same time, we should look at how China do it, and how Korea doing it, and then how Taiwan, where my home country, we're doing it, and then coming right now, how European going to do it right now. Germany are doing a good job. There's some leading thing there, and we look at the United States. Also, the president of the United States also claimed that they are coming back soon. Then how are they going to come back? So I think the whole world are falling in the same situation, and we probably we have to find out our way, how we save ourselves and how we bring ourselves back to the global supply chain.
Yeah, Stanley, I'm afraid that the next time we invite you to our studio for interview, you will say no. We can do it on Facebook now, right?
Yeah, I think it's costing. You see, Kunte, I think costing is very important. We right now maybe we sit down and think about in the past we spend so much time on the traffic, and then that's another true. Cost, right? And right now we can have more time to enjoy family life, and then we don't eat that much because there's no social networking there, right? But concentrate. I think life was changing. The totally was changing to us. Right now the most important thing is that how we find the best way and best solution to protect the health of our people in the nation. And second, we really have to find a way, and then what will be the room, the biggest room that we can start in our economic activity. We ensure that everybody can have their job. Everybody can learn things to adapt the new society and new way of behavior.
Stanley, you mentioned a lot about new world, 5G era or digital era. But on the other hand, people keep telling us as well that perhaps it's time to be back to simpler life or to have like self-reliant economy. Do you think the world will be facing more dilemma between going to be more digital and back to more basic lifestyle? How do you see it?
Okay, my feeling like this, yes, in the past, most of people, they come into the main city to looking for the job, right? You see, the COVID-19 happened. In this period of time, there was a lot of people have to return back to their home. So I do urge the Thai government to think about it, right? Right now, I don't think in the next 6 months or 12 months that we will be able to provide a lot of jobs there. Just like at the beginning, I said, I'm worrying our employment rate will have 7 million to 10 million people. And that's the big issue that we never happened in Thailand. We all know the figure in the past until the first quarter. Thailand always in the past, we always have very good performance on our employment. So we always have less than 1% of employment rate. So right now, the people, the life will not just in the city. We have to accept that will be a lot of people will return back to each province, each Jangwat. And then the Jangwat had to rethink about it. How can they create the job for their own people return home there, right? And of course, we will try to record again in the economy, maybe on the EEC area, but that will take time. Before that can be ready, how about our population and all these population that are people? You cannot just then ask them to stay at home, right? You got to find something for them to learn. And then these people, they will bring more new technology back to the upcountry. And can we start to think out how we do the smart farming, and then how can we do the more technology on our farm, when a lot of young people also returning back home. And then also one thing I'm very worried, because with the coming years new graduation young people, can we create more jobs for them? Right? The economy is really challenging right now, right? So there's a lot of issue. If we cannot solve the economic issue, the thing will be the social problem. So I think that right now is not wait until the problem happen and solve the problem. Right now, I urge the Thai government and then all the private sector, all of us got to really sit down and think what we're going to happen. And we have to prepare ourselves as fast as we can and then to face the challenge in there. You see, I can see all the pictures there. The beautiful restaurant with Thai food is so excellent, but right now I don't think within a short time we can all go back without social distance and eating in all these restaurants. So a lot of things are changing from the bottom part to the high end. So that's why I say Prime Minister is giving a very smart move. He's bringing more talent to come into around him to give suggestions and recommendations to see that what will be the step that we're going to bring Thailand back to the normal society.
Okay, thank you very much, Stanley, for your insight and your view on Thai economy and the solution. And I'm sure Prime Minister can hear what your concern is. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stanley.
Thank you. Thank you, Kun Natha. Thank you, Kun Thechai. Thank you.
All right.
ขอบคุณค่ะ
Stay
Thank you
healthy
very
too.
much.
Yeah. Okay.
And Kun Thechai, with all the procedure that we see, especially social distancing, all the restrictive measures that imposed on every one of us in Thailand, for middle class people or for people who are living and having enough space, probably that would be quite okay. But there are so many local communities in Thailand who do not have quite enough space in one family to provide for social distancing, and that's becoming very difficult for those people. So let's take a look to this story.
In crowded communities, with overpopulation and low condition of living, whereas people need to adjust their way of living under social distancing measure. The social distancing measure seems to be very difficult to practice due to the limitation of space and overpopulation. In this house, eating space, sleeping, and living area are the same room. The best she can do is stay at home to avoid the possibility of contraction of the virus from outside. Another house in this community is a one floor with 9 people living. It is impossible for them to follow the social distancing measure, which everyone has to stay 2 meters apart from one another. She said, "We understand the measure and the regulation very well, but for us living in this kind of community, it's not easy to practice." These 2 families are an example of crowded communities with overpopulation in Bangkok, reflect the problem that people try to follow the state measure with the limitation of their life condition. Another place is Klong Thai community. A group of social network visited the community, checking their living condition and provide them some necessities. Meanwhile, officials from the Ministry of Public Health has already gone to rescue other crowded communities in order to detect and prevent the infection of the virus.
That's another clear aspect of difficulty facing by different groups of people because of crisis of COVID-19. And with the way different countries handle the crisis, women leaders in particular are being singled out that they're quite doing their job quite well. And right now we are joining by Kun Nat Punnak. So Kun Nat,
hello.
Yes, who are the women leaders around the world that have been told that handling the crisis quite well?
So there are many countries that have been praised for the way they responded to the pandemic. So there are a few countries. So let's focus on Taiwan first, because many countries have been praising Taiwan for the way they responded to the pandemic. So President Tsai Ing-wen actually introduced tough measures to block the spread even before the pandemic was spread to other countries around the world. So the president actually began inspecting all flights that were coming from Wuhan, which was the epicenter of the outbreak. And later on, she decided to ban all of the flights that are coming from China, Hong Kong, and Macau. They have also set up an epidemic command center, as well as increasing the production of protective equipment, especially with face masks, not only for their own country, but they're also sending these protective equipment for other countries as well. Besides Taiwan, New Zealand is also praised for the way they handled the situation. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern announced a full lockdown after only 6 deaths in the country, and she also decided to ban all foreigners entering New Zealand. And besides the ban of foreigners, the lockdown right now is also extended until next week without easing any of the restrictions. And as well as New Zealand, Iceland has also ramped up with their strict measures even before they found a first case in the country. So Iceland started widespread testing for COVID-19 and also banned gatherings ever since like the beginning of the year and even before they found the first case. So what you might notice here is that the female leaders that managed to handle the situation very well is that female leaders tend to be quick and decisive. So if there is something, they would decide straight away in order to contain the virus.
But of course, there are male leaders who handle the crisis quite okay as well. So what should we be looking at in terms of their style, in terms of handling the crisis?
You mean for female leaders, right? Or
Yes.
Male leaders?
Yes, for female leaders.
Okay, for the female leaders, besides how decisive and quick they are, there are other things you can learn from these people as well. The female leaders they don't really underplay the situation. So they understand how severe the situation is. So for example, like in Germany, the Chancellor Angela Merkel, she's actually announced that this outbreak is definitely very, very severe. So she told the people that this virus will infect up to 70% of the population. So everyone should take it seriously because the government is taking this very seriously. So they went ahead with widespread testing and they became a country that has most intensive care beds, as well as being named as the largest scale coronavirus testing program in Europe. And another thing that we can learn from the female leaders is that these people learn to use empathy and how to reach the younger audience. For example, in Norway, they came up with this televised press conference without any of the adults so that the prime minister can connect with the children and answer all the questions that kids might have. And they also took time to explain why is it okay to be scared of the pandemic. Or even in Finland, they also used social media influencers to actually connect with millennials and the younger generation. So to spread the message about the severity of COVID-19, because these days we now obtain news and information through social media. So using social media influencers will connect with that particular audience even better. But because we're talking about female leaders here, we're not here to bash male leaders or saying that male leaders fail. That's not the point of the discussion here. There are male leaders that managed to handle the situation very well. For example, in South Korea, President Moon Jae-in managed to flatten the curve of infections through widespread testing, and he even declared war against the invisible enemy. So there are still a couple of male leaders that managed to handle the situation very well, and we can see that through the decrease of the infections there.
Overall,
Of course, it's not a matter of being a male female, but it's a matter of being a good leader in time of crisis like this.
And overall, it seems empathy and ability to reach out to different groups of people during the crisis is really important.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Kun Nat Bunak, for your story
Thank you.
about women and male leaders. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Kun Thep Chai, right now we are having another leader from business community to be joining us of the proposal from the business community to the government in terms of handling the crisis. And right now, Kun Kalin Sarasin, Chairman of the Thai Chamber of Commerce and Board of Trade of Thailand is joining us. สวัสดีค่ะ Good evening คุณกลิน
สวัสดีครับนัทธาครับคุณเทพชัยครับสวัสดีครับ
คุณกลินสวัสดี Thank you for joining us. คุณกลิน we all know how badly the business sector has been damaged by the virus and the shutdown. But can you give us a quick look at how worse it can get if the shutdown is kept in its present form, say for another few months?
So first of all, I'd like to thank you very much for inviting me to share some information with all of you. First of all, a couple of weeks ago, we have studies of what will happen from now on. You know, for if we shut down at least one month. If 1 month we estimate we will have people have lost a job, more than 7 million people. But if we shut down like 3 months, we probably lost job about 10 million people. So then the government also asked us, you know, how many people we think have been affected. So we give the number to the government, and luckily, I think that government prepare ahead of time already since January. So right now, so they have the government have money to give like 5,000 people to like you said, like more than 10 million people got this benefit. So this is really the worst case in the histories. And actually, our economies depend on the tourism.
Which are the
right now,
group of people?
It's all gone. And also export also really bad. You know, the world crisis coming. So it's very difficult for the business people to work at the moment.
So Kun Green, which particular group of people that are being hurt the most as far as the unemployment is concerned now?
Say again, please.
I think which particular groups of people that are being hurt the most as far as unemployment is concerned?
Right now, the service sector, especially people dealing with tourism, they are the most the affected the most. For example, from the hotel, from food sectors, from the shopping center, something like this, retails. All these people are affected. But still, you know, we still have some hope in the future because everyone is helping stay at home and work from home. So the number of the people, new cases, is reducing. So I think it's a good news from that.
Kun Kalin, you have proposed sandbox to the government in order to solve the economic crisis. Can you tell us more about the sandbox that you have proposed?
Yes, our proposal, our committee consists of many doctors, from people from TDRI, from Chamber of Commerce and Provincial Chamber of Commerce, a trade association. So a lot of people coming to help us to do it. So we come out with the metrics. The first metric is come from area base. They have the provincial in the green zone, yellow zone, and also red zone. The green zone has been past 14 days. You have no COVID at all. And the yellow zone have some, and red zone still have accept a lot of people in his hospitals. But another one is sector-based. Sector-based also the green zone, yellow zone, and also the red zone. But if the green zone, you meet with the green zone, meet with the sector zone, the green zone also, that means it's automatically you can open your business. But if the red zone, provincial red zone, and you cross with the green zone, a green zone for the business sector, that means you have to watch out, be careful. So this is our concept. But mostly for the red zone, we have to stop everything, right? So this is our proposal. At the moment, we said that we should obey the health
social distancing
people, saying that the first thing have to stay away from the densities of the people. The second one, you have to stay in a place at less than 1 hour. And the third place is you have to join activity with the less noise. And the fourth one, you have to be in a place where the air can blow through. And the fifth is you have to obey. For example, you have to measure temperatures, and also you have to wear the mask, and also have to use the gel. This is the basic requirement for the people, for each zone and each sector have to apply. And then after that, we have the proposal for the government that we should have some sample. That means some sandbox for at least 2 weeks for the provincial, the green zone, and also yellow zone, and with the sector for yellow zone and so green zone, so that so we can see what's going on for that two weeks period. At the same time, we also have 2 applications. The first application for track and tracing, that one we call using we call Mo Chana. This is used at the DE ministry. They also announced already last week. So you use this for tracking. And another application is being doing right now, and then also we will finish on this Friday. And this application is using for the sector base. For example, the area that you want to go in, for example, a department store, you have to use the QR code first with the line, and then after that, when you read the QR code and then you scan it, and then after you can see that what's going on in that standard or that department store, and how many people can go in, and you have to stay apart, and also how long you stay in that place. Something like this we apply to restaurants, to many places that be open. So this application will be finished within 2 days. And after this finish, so we said, okay, we're going to use a sandbox, and then after that, if the sandbox 2 weeks after finish, we know what's going on, and after that we can start the first period for opening up the green zone. That's basically what we plan.
Kun Kalin, for the measures you just mentioned to be successful and effective, it means the private sector, the business community will have to work very closely with the authorities, right, in monitoring and making sure that all these measures are closely or strictly followed by business operators. So does it mean that the Chamber of Commerce will be an instrument, a player in making sure that there's a close cooperation between the private sector and the government?
Right. Right now, we work very closely with the government, with the health departments, and also we work with the COVID administration also. Yeah. And also we working closely with related party, for example, the provincial places, and also with the trade association. That means that each sector, for example, today we're dealing with the restaurant association and also department store association, working with the golf association, something like this. We have to work closely with them and ask them to draw out the standards, the new standard, new normal, what we have to do with the new, when we want to open up. So we have to have new standard to apply to their sectors.
It's the matter of survival, isn't it, Kun Kalin? And for how long do you think that the business can be up and coming after the sandbox? Or what's the factor or what's the situation that you have to evaluate after experimenting with the sandbox that you have just told us?
From my personal point of view, I think the most important thing, we have to focus on the health of the people of Thailand. But if from now on, if each day is improving better and better, so I'm sure the government will be open up a little bit. You cannot open up everything at the same time. You can see many examples from other countries already. So the government really want to make sure that standard has been set in place, application should be set in place, and then after that, step by step. So I think it will take some time. So the COVID will be with us for at least a year and a half. So make sure that you're ready for everything.
Kun Kalin, this pandemic certainly came as a rude awakening to everyone. It affecting every walks of life in the whole world, not only in Thailand. So as a businessman, I'm sure that this is something you did not expect it to happen. But as a businessman, how do you see the situation? How do you see the post-COVID-19 scenario? There are people out there who say that we certainly cannot go back to business as usual anymore. So how do you see the future of businesses?
I'm sure that the business will be changed a lot. And we will using for digital technology more and more. So right now, Thai Chamber of Commerce, we are setting up the new application. This should be finished within 2 weeks. So matching up with the people, no employment with the demand and supply, with the company who really want the people to work for them. Another one, they want the people to lay off, so we have to match up this application. So this is one thing that we want to help the people, and also we can have to see our national strategies. Maybe in the future we have to see more. We can move it to more value-added business with the agricultural products, and also we can see right now for the food business is very good. For example, the food processing, and right now we can export food everywhere in the world. We are center of manufacturing food. So this is one of the strengths of our countries. And also in the future, we can see that how can we use the local economies to promote our economy, not only import tourism from other countries, and also not only depend on export product alone. So this thing have to revisit our national strategies again.
And
Kun, okay.
Yes.
Kun
Kalin said you just mentioned that we perhaps need to restructure our economy, not to rely too much on export and tourism sector. So what's the future, do you see? How should we adapt to the future?
Our future probably have to focus into services, but new services, new digital technology services. We use application for something like this, maybe for training for new things, reskill new things, and also learning for new things that, I'm sure that after we opening up, lots of people will come to Thailand, but what we can offer them with, quote unquote, safety first is very important. So I'm sure that Thailand will be very popular among many people. I'm sure that some high value services can be offered from Thai people. For example, like the something hygiene, something medical, tourism, medical offers. I'm saying a long stay be all right. Long stay with the people who really to come and long stay here, and also give knowledge to Thai people. Something like this have to rethink what can we add value to Thai people.
I see. Kun Grin, I'm sure you have many friends in the foreign business community. How do they see Thailand handling this pandemic?
Right now, at first, it's really hectic. I have a lot of friends here in Thailand, and they're really hectic because the communication is really poor at first. And then right now, the communication is better. And also for border trade and Thai Chamber of Commerce, we also communicate to business communities, foreign business communities, with Stanley Kang, with these people, to know what's going on with the government, what the government will do in the future. And also we ask what our foreign community in Thailand, what do concern. So for the past month, they concerned about the visa and also work permit. So they asked us to help them. So yesterday, the government already extended the visa until the 31st of July, but they didn't extend the work permit. So this is our job. Today, I have a meeting with Dr. Somkit, Deputy Prime Minister. I also give him this information about extend the work permit also. I tell them that the foreign community in Thailand, that will be a while until Thai government allow the foreign expat to come into Thailand. So this you have to do working on online telecommunications, and also last week the government helping with a new what they call communication
e-meeting
e-meeting. So this is you don't have to be here in Bangkok, you can be from anywhere in the world, and you don't have to be 1/3 in a room. So this is very easy, can do business better and better. So we can think this is opportunities, not a threat. It's opportunity for Thai to revise rules, regulations, and also I think that the Thai government should use this as opportunity to revise as an e-government more and more.
And how do you think of Prime Minister open letter to British business people and business community? Is that a good move?
I think this is quite innovative, because I never know that you mentioned these are rich people, these are poor people, but I think that the people who would like to help the government, we have a lot of people who like to help government. So if you can ask them, if you want to help government, what can you do? This is better. Better than ask them, you are rich people, you have to help government. So those people, top 20, what you said, that majority of them belong to Thai Chamber of Commerce. They are members of Thai Chamber of Commerce, and they already help the countries. They're in our committees, and they send people to help. They send the money, they send many things to help. Sometimes these people don't want to show up that they were helping. They work around, they go behind. They don't want to show them their face. I think it's a good way to do it, So, but okay, it's quite innovative that the government asked these people to come and show up.
Yeah, I'm sure that the government will be needing a lot of advice and ideas from business people like yourselves in the coming weeks in reopening the economy. So certainly you will be busy with requests for meetings.
Yes, right. I think right now it's more busy than I'm in the office. Every hour, all the meetings.
Yeah.
And you cannot have excuse of not being available.
Yes. Yes, your schedule must be packed.
Tomorrow I have to be in somewhere else. They said, are you available? No, I have to be available, so I have to be everywhere.
Yes, that's coming with working from home and having teleconference meeting. Thank you very much, Kun Kalin, for joining us. But please hold on, because this is English version and we like to carry on talking with you in Thai. But right now, we would like you to watch this with us together. It's Lisbon-based orchestra play together over the internet. And let's hear Mozart Symphony number 40 together.
Thank you.
วัสดีค่ะช่วงนี้ติดตามไทย PBS World Tonight ภาคภาษาไทยนะคะเราวิเคราะห์ทิศทางสถานการณ์วิกฤตโควิด -19 และการหาทางออกร่วมกันค่ะช่วงนี้คุณกลินสารสินประธานกรรมการหอการค้าและสภาหอการค้าแห่งประเทศไทยอยู่กับเราค่ะสวัสดีค่ะคุณกลินคะ
ครับสวัสดีครับนัฐาครับสวัสดีครับ
ค่ะ
คุณกลินสวัสดีครับขอบคุณที่มาร่วมรายการนะครับคุณกลินชีวิตเปลี่ยนไปเยอะไหมครับเนี่ยได้ข่าวว่าแทนทำงานที่บ้านเนี่ยแทนที่ทำงานน้อยลงเนี่ยกับต้องทำงานมากขึ้นจริงไหมครับ
ครับตอนนี้ทำงานแย่มากครับโดยเฉพาะหนีไปไหนไม่ได้นะครับแต่ก็มีเวลาอยู่บ้านมากขึ้นดีแล้ว
ส่วนใหญ่ต้องมีคนติดต่อเพื่อพูดคุยด้วยทางออนไลน์ทางอินเทอร์เน็ตเนี่ยมากขึ้นกว่าเมื่อก่อนนี่เยอะเลยใช่ไหมครับตอนนี้
ครับวันหนึ่งก็ประชุมทางอินเทอร์เน็ตนี่ไม่ต่ำกว่า 4-5 ประชุมครับแต่ละวันและขณะการก็มีนักข่าวโทรมาถามตลอดเวลาตอนนี้เพราะมีหลายเรื่องที่ฮอตนะครับแต่ในการก็มีผู้ใหญ่ทางรัฐบาลก็โทรมาเหมือนกันบอกใครว่าประชุมก็เราต้องไปนะครับก็เลยต้องบางทีก็บอกเลิกการประชุมบ้างนะครับแต่ก็ไม่เป็นไรผมว่าก็เป็นเรื่องที่ดีที่เราต้องช่วยกันช่วงนี้ครับ
ค่ะคุณกลินพระราชกำหนดที่ออกมาเรื่องให้ประชุมทางอิเล็กทรอนิกส์ได้ที่ออกมาเมื่อช่วงสุดสัปดาห์นี้ช่วยได้เยอะเลยใช่ไหมคะสำหรับระดับผู้บริหารในการตัดสินใจและประชุมร่วมกันนะคะ
ผมว่าดีมากนะครับอันนี้เป็นการปรับที่เข้าสถานการณ์มากนะครับขณะเดียวกันก็บริษัทต่างชาติที่อยู่เมืองไทยนี่ก็คล่องตัวมากยิ่งขึ้นนะครับเขาก็บอกว่าตอนนี้ช่วงนี้นี่แบบบริษัทญี่ปุ่นเนี่ยเพื่อผู้จัดการก็เข้ามาไม่ได้ก็เป็นการเปลี่ยนถ่ายช่วงเดือนเมษายนนี่นะครับแต่ผู้จัดการแต่ละคนที่ก็มาไม่ได้ก็เลยต้องโทรศัพท์เข้ามาก็ถือว่าเป็นการประชุมก็ถือว่าทำได้ผมว่าดีมากๆอันนี้นะครับแล้วก็ปลดล็อกหลายอย่างใช้วิกฤตให้เป็นโอกาสตอนนี้นะครับดีมากครับ
คุณกลินครับเราทราบดีว่าตอนนี้สถานการณ์ที่เกิดจากไอ้โรคโควิดเนี่ยมันก็กระทบทุกส่วนของสังคมทุกส่วนของประเทศแหละครับก็มีคนตกงานหลายล้านคนแต่ว่าถ้าสถานการณ์ยังเป็นอย่างนี้ต่อไปอีกสักระยะหนึ่งอีกเดือนหนึ่ง2 เดือนเนี่ยคุณกลินพอวาดภาพไปเห็นได้ไหมครับว่ามันจะเป็นยังไงครับโดยเฉพาะในส่วนที่เกี่ยวข้องกับเศรษฐกิจเกี่ยวข้องกับเรื่องของการจ้างงานเรื่องการทำธุรกิจ
คือการจ้างงานเนี่ยครับเราเห็นแล้วว่าตอนนี้ณปัจจุบันนี้มันคนก็ไม่มีงานทำนะครับแล้วก็ตกงานค่อนข้างแย่นะครับในฐานะของหอการค้านะครับเราก็คุยกับบริษัทใหญ่ๆกันในเครือข่ายเรานะครับบอกเป็นไปได้ไหมช่วงนี้ขอให้เก็บคนงานให้นานที่สุดได้ไหมนะครับแล้วก็เราจะไปคุยกับทางรัฐบาลให้ว่าจะเป็นอย่างไรรัฐบาลก็อยากจะให้เก็บคนงานให้นานสุดเช่นเดียวกันนะครับตอนนี้ก็ดีมากนะครับแต่คิดว่าตอนนี้ช่วงนี้เราก็ลองคำนวณดูแล้วเนี่ยช่วงเดือนนี้นะครับจะคงต้องมีคนว่างงานตกงานประมาณ7 ล้านคนนะครับแล้วถ้าเผื่อยาวขึ้นไปประมาณอีก3 เดือนเนี่ยก็คิดว่าประมาณ10 ล้านคนได้นะครับก็คิดว่าเราก็ต้องช่วยเหลือพวกนี้ด้วยนะครับว่าเป็นอย่างไรนะครับ
คือตอนนี้คุณกลินครับคนว่างงาน7 ล้านคนนี้ถือว่าเป็นจำนวนคนที่ว่างงานเยอะที่สุดในประวัติศาสตร์ในระยะไม่นานนี้หรือเปล่าครับ
ใช่ครับเมื่อก่อนเราคนว่างงานเราไม่ถึงขนาดนี้นะครับเมื่อก่อนเราเป็นเปอร์เซ็นต์นิดเดียวไม่ถึง 1% ประมาณนี้นะครับแต่ตอนนี้ก็จำนวนเพิ่มมากขึ้นเพราะว่าทั้งหมดประมาณ38 ล้านคนนะครับที่อยู่ใน workforce นี่ก็7 ล้านคนก็แย่เหมือนกันนะครับผมคิดว่าถ้าเผื่อเราสามารถresume business ได้นะครับใน in the near future เนี่ยผมว่าคราวนี้คิดว่าก็น่าจะมีการจ้างงานเพิ่มนะครับอันนี้เป็นเรื่องที่ต้องช่วยกันดูนะครับแต่ความปลอดภัยของชีวิตของเราเนี่ยสำคัญกว่านะครับต้องช่วยดูด้วยนะครับเราก็พยายามบาลานซ์กันนะครับว่าความปลอดภัยชีวิตด้วยเศรษฐกิจด้วยแล้วก็สังคมด้วยนะครับตอนนี้ก็ตอนที่จะเริ่มปิดใหม่ๆนี้พวกเราก็วิ่งเข้าไปหาท่านผู้ใหญ่ในกระทรวงหลายท่านนะครับในท่านนายกด้วยนะครับก็บอกขอเป็นไปได้ไหมอยากให้พวกreal sector ต่างๆนี่ยังเดินต่อเนื่องยกตัวอย่างโรงงานต่างๆก็ตามโลจิสติกต่างๆก็ตามที่ขนของพวกอาหารพวกสิ่งของจำเป็นนี่ขอให้วิ่งต่อไปนะครับก็ท่านก็ทุกคนก็รับฟังทุกเรื่องนะครับหลังก็มีปัญหาเรื่องการ execution นะครับจังหวัดนี้ก็ปิดจังหวัดนี้ก็ปิดบางทีก็ ไม่ให้ขนของบ้างเราก็ได้มีการสื่อสารไปนะครับก็ทุกคนได้เข้าใจหมดนะครับว่าโอเคเรื่องรถขนส่งเป็นเรื่องจำเป็นนะครับแล้วก็ขนส่งได้ตอนนี้ก็ทุกอย่างก็เรียบร้อยถึงขั้นหนึ่งแล้วนะครับผมคิดว่าต้องช่วยกันในช่วงนี้นะครับ
คุณกลิ่นครับวิกฤตโควิดนี่คนบอกว่าจริงๆแล้วน่ากลัวจริงๆก็คือเรื่องปัญหาเศรษฐกิจอนาคตที่คุณกลิ่นกำลังเห็นในอนาคตในระยะใกล้ๆเนี่ยค่ะจะได้เห็นการปรับตัวการเปลี่ยนแปลงของภาคธุรกิจต่างๆอย่างไรคะในเรื่องของการบริการร้านค้าร้านรวงต่างๆหน้าตาที่จะได้เห็นในช่วงของการปรับตัวเนี่ยค่ะ
การปรับตัวของพฤติกรรมของคนนะตอนนี้เปลี่ยนไปเยอะมากครับเราดูลูกค้าก่อนพวกนี้คือลูกค้านั้นนะครับการปรับตัวต่างๆเนี่ยนะครับการทานข้าวตอนนี้ก็กินที่บ้านนะครับไม่ไปที่ไหนแล้วก็คิดว่าในอนาคตเนี่ยสมมติว่าร้านอาหารเปิดเนี่ยถามว่าคนจะไปนั่งนานไหมก็กลัวเหมือนกันนะครับก็คิดว่าก็ distancing คนก็เริ่มชินแล้วเป็นไงนะครับผมว่าพฤติกรรมก็เริ่มเปลี่ยนไปการประกอบธุรกิจก็ต้องเปลี่ยนไปนะครับเอาดิจิทัลมาช่วยได้ไหมเอาแอปมาช่วยได้หรือเปล่านะครับหรือว่าจะดูว่าตลาดส่งออกถามว่าตลาดส่งออกสินค้าอะไรนะครับความต้องการเขาเป็นอย่างไรนะครับลูกค้าเปลี่ยนแปลงไหมพฤติกรรมเป็นอย่างไรนะครับผมก็ต้องดูให้ดีว่าเป็นยังไงนะครับเพราะว่าตอนนี้นี่การเปลี่ยนแปลงเร็วมากนะครับถ้าเกิดเราสามารถดูทุกอย่างเป็นโอกาสผมคิดว่าสามารถปรับตัวได้นะครับโดยเฉพาะนะครับเมืองไทยตอนนี้เป็นเมืองเนื้อหอมเนื้อหวานมากนะครับทุกคนอยากมาลงทุนบ้านเรานะครับจะเป็นด้านอาหารจะเป็นด้านอิเล็กทรอนิกส์ด้านต่างๆก็อยากมาลงทุนบ้านเราเพราะเรา reliable มากนะครับแล้วก็ไม่อยากชมรัฐบาลนะครับผมแต่คิดว่ารัฐบาลก็ไปได้นะครับมาดูการควบคุมต่างๆการรับฟังต่างๆผมว่าก็ถือว่าใช้ได้นะครับ
โอกาสที่รออยู่สำหรับคุณกลิ่นที่จะเห็นแล้วคนไทยควรที่จะต้องเร่งปรับตัวให้ได้นะคะเพื่อรับมือกับยุคหลังวิกฤตโควิดเนี่ยคืออะไรคะ
การปรับตัวให้ได้นะครับต้องคิดว่าปรับตัวแล้วเสร็จโควิดแล้วเนี่ยเขาจะทำอะไรต่อนะครับทำมาหากินอะไรต่อนี่สำคัญเพราะทุกคนต้องมีเงินต้องมีอาหารต้องมีเสื้อผ้านะปัจจัย4ต้องมีนะครับก็ถามว่าแล้วทำไงต่อนะครับเพราะฉะนั้นเงินจะมาที่ไหนก็ถึงจะทำธุรกิจทำต่างๆนี้ก็ถามว่าธุรกิจมาจากไหนนะครับก็คิดว่าการจับจ่ายใช้สอยในประเทศไทยเนี่ยก็ต้องพึ่งประเทศไทยอยู่ดีนะครับเพราะฉะนั้นวันนี้ก็ได้มีการคุยกับท่านรองสมคิดนะครับบอกว่าเป็นไปได้ไหมเรื่องงบประมาณของรัฐเนี่ยขอให้เร่งออกมานะครับเรื่องการโปรเจกต์ต่างๆที่เสร็จแล้วก็ให้รีบจ่ายผู้รับเหมาไปนะครับหรือว่าโครงการไหนๆที่ช่วยได้ก็ให้ช่วยเลยเต็มที่นะครับก็ท่านบอกก็ดีนะครับแล้วก็วันนี้ก็มีการคุยเรื่องถามว่าที่ผ่านมาเนี่ยรัฐบาลช่วยแล้วนี่ยังพอไหมต้องการช่วยอะไรอีกเพิ่มเติมไหมนะครับเราก็ได้เสนอแนะเล็กๆน้อยๆก็ท่านก็รับฟังแล้วก็ให้ไปประสานงานต่อไปนะครับผมคิดว่าเป็นเรื่องที่ดีแต่เรื่องที่สำคัญคือว่าเรื่องนอกจากการเยียวยาแล้วนะครับผมคิดว่าเรื่อง local economy สำคัญมากในอนาคตนะครับคนในท้องถิ่นจะทำอะไรนะครับตอนนี้หลายคนก็กลับไปบ้านแล้วก็อาจจะติดใจว่าอยู่ต่างจังหวัดน่าจะดีกว่านะมันก็เป็นไปได้นะครับผมคิดว่าในอนาคตเนี่ยเราต้องดูเรื่อง Big Data วันนี้ก็มีการหารือกับท่านสมคิดด้วยว่าตอนนี้ข้อมูลรัฐบาลมีแย่มากเป็นไปได้ไหมข้อมูลบางส่วนเนี่ยขอให้เอกชนได้ดูได้ไหมแล้วมาวิเคราะห์ว่าทำไงได้บ้างนะครับนี่เป็นจุดที่แทนที่เราไปลงเข็มในมหาสมุทรนะครับอย่างน้อยจะมีข้อมูลไว้มาวิเคราะห์แล้วจะได้ตอบสนองความต้องการได้นะครับผมว่าเป็นเรื่องที่ต้องช่วยกันนะครับตรงนี้วันนี้ทางแบงก์ชาติก็มานั่งฟังด้วยนะครับกระทรวงการคลังก็มานั่งฟังด้วยก็ผมว่าดีมากตรงนี้นะครับ
ครับคุณกลิ่นครับดูเหมือนว่าคนในวงการทุกวงการเนี่ยจะเห็นตรงกันว่าโลกเราเนี่ยจะไม่กลับไปเหมือนเดิมอีกแล้วนะครับหลังจากที่ไอ้โรคระบาดนี้ที่เกิดขึ้นและท่าทีล่าสุดของท่านนายกในการเชิญชวนผู้นำในวงการต่างๆโดยเฉพาะเศรษฐีทั้งหลายเนี่ยมาร่วมแสดงความคิดเห็นและมาร่วมมือกันแก้ปัญหาเนี่ยก็หน้าทางก็เป็นท่าทีที่ผมคิดว่าดีมากนะครับแต่ว่าคุณกลิ่นคิดยังไงว่านี่วิกฤตครั้งนี้มันก็น่าจะเป็นโอกาสที่ ถ้าเรามีทางการเมืองที่แข็งแกร่งนะครับที่มองไปข้างหน้าเนี่ยจะต้องใช้เป็นโอกาสในการที่จะเชื้อชวนให้คนในทุกวงการทุกระดับเนี่ยมีส่วนร่วมถ้าเรายอมรับว่าโลกจะกลับไม่เหมือนเดิมเนี่ยนะผมคิดว่าประเทศไทยคงต้องการแนวคิดต้องการวิสัยทัศน์ยุทธศาสตร์อันใหม่นะครับที่เกิดขึ้นจากการระดมสมองที่กว้างขวางเลยตรงนี้นะครับความจริงหอการค้าก็น่าจะเป็นเวทีที่จะสำคัญมากในการที่จะจัดให้มันมีการระดมความคิดเห็นจากส่วนต่างๆของสังคมนะครับเพื่อที่จะถูกกลั่นออกมาให้มันเป็นยุทธศาสตร์เป็นแนวคิดที่จะวางทิศทางอนาคตของประเทศไทยได้คุณกินคิดยังไงครับ
ผมว่าเป็นเรียกว่า innovative idea นะครับที่ท่านนายกเชิญพวกนักธุรกิจชั้นนำนะครับอย่าพูดว่ามหาเศรษฐีผมแสลงเวลาพูดมหาเศรษฐีถ้าพูดมหาเศรษฐีอะไรแสดงก็ต้องมีคนจนเยอะแยะไม่อยากพูดอย่างนั้นนะครับผมคิดว่านักธุรกิจที่ประสบความสำเร็จจะดีกว่านะครับเอาพวกนี้มาถามความคิดเห็นว่าจะทำยังไงจะช่วยอะไรกันได้ผมว่าเป็นเรื่องที่ดีนะครับบางทีแต่ละท่านอาจจะมีไอเดียที่เราคิดไม่ถึงก็ได้นะครับบางทีอาจจะมองในเป็นเรียกว่า global view มากขึ้นนะครับไม่ใช่ local นะครับ global คือระดับโลกนะครับว่าจะเป็นอย่างไรแล้วก็พวกท่านแต่ละท่านนี้ก็มีการค้าขายระหว่างประเทศเยอะมากนะครับผมคิดว่าเป็นเรื่องที่ดีนะครับแล้วก็แค่ในการถามแล้วเนี่ยก็เอาพวกท่านมา engage ด้วยนะครับมาทำด้วยนะครับไม่ใช่เฉพาะออกไอเดียเฉยนะครับอย่าไปพูดเรื่องเงินนะครับพูดว่า engage นะครับเพราะบริษัทพวกท่านแต่ละคนนี่ก็ใหญ่ๆทั้งนั้นแล้วก็มีคนมาช่วยนะครับผมคิดว่าเป็นเรื่องที่ดีนะครับและการก็มีเป็นโอกาสที่เอาสามารถมา revamp รัฐบาลด้วยนะครับหมายความว่าก็มาช่วย reskill นะครับมาดู reprocess รัฐบาลให้สามารถefficient นะครับเท่ากับพวกเอกชนได้ครับ
คุณค่ะเอาละค่ะคุณกลินขอบพระคุณมากนะคะที่มาร่วมรายการสำหรับช่วงเวลานี้ค่ะทั้งภาษาไทยและภาษาอังกฤษสำหรับไทย PBS World Tonight ค่ะและทั้งหมดก็คือทั้งรายการทั้ง2ภาษานะคะคืนนี้หมดเวลาแล้วเสียดายว่ามีเวลาคุยกันได้สักนิดหนึ่งนะคะแต่ก็ได้รับฟังมุมมองจากคุณกลินและข้อเสนอต่อภาครัฐค่ะสำหรับคืนนี้เราทั้ง3คนลาไปเลยค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับขอบคุณมากครับ
ขอบคุณมากครับ
สวัสดีครับสวัสดีครับพี่สวัสดีครับ